We feel good. Obviously, we've gone up there before and stuck to our game plan, and we're able to grind out a result and be victorious. And we know every game is its own beast, so it's not like we're going to go up there and just be like, oh, I'll do the same thing as we did last year. So obviously there's different factors in play. You know, they're going to be hungry to try to amend for what happened last year. At the same token, they're also, I think, possibly aware that another defeat at home would be a disaster. So there's multiple factors that play into it. I think for us, we're just very, very happy with the work we've put in and having had a chance to now actually get repaid and put a trophy in a case and get a chance to put another one in a case.
Stefan, the play of your defense, can you talk about not only the marking of it, but the ball distribution from you to the back line to the middle and then going up front?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this numerous times that this year I think one of the highlights for me this season is I think we found a strong identity as a possession-based team, and that starts all the way in the back. I think we may have struggled a little bit in earlier parts of the season where we were able to play out of the back, tend to dominate when it comes to possession, but not really be able to find goals and points out of that. So, but we stuck to our guns, and we were able to really establish that strong identity. And yeah, it does start with the back and the movement in front of the back five, in front of my four guys and in front of me, because we can pass amongst ourselves as much as we want. If there's no movement in front of them, then we can't advance the ball. So I think we've worked really well on movement off the ball, of timing, of spacing. All those things have been pretty dominant features, I think, in our practice sessions to try to get better at it, and I think it's paid off.
Communication has been a key in that whole process, whether you have the ball or not have the ball, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we have enough veterans on the squad that know what position we're supposed to be in, have found themselves in tricky positions before, so they can maybe communicate before something hits the fence, and kind of try to avert a dangerous situation, right? So I think that all is going to come in handy, especially in these games. Like I said, a one-game final where anything can happen. We want to be as sharp and as focused and minimize our mistakes as much as we can.
What were some of the things, maybe tips that you learned about playing in those conditions last year that you can take forward into this year's final?
Conditions like the weather and honestly, I've had other games like that before, but obviously the difference being that was the game, and then having those extreme conditions is difficult. But I'd argue we had one towards the end of this season at home where it was just above freezing, but it was cold. It was wet. It was coming down hard, and that was, I think, almost more miserable because you were soaked and cold. At least for me, just standing in the back. But you prepare as much as you can. I think the kickoff time is going to be a bit earlier than last year. That's something to be aware of, and just prepare as much as you can. But you don't want to change too much, right? You wanna stick to the routines and the comfort levels that got you to this point. You don't want to now all of a sudden reinvent the wheel at the most important point in the season.
Steph, since you gained sort of hero status a year ago with the save, how would you assess your year personally, starting with going to camp and getting injured and kind of recovering from that, and then kind of fulfilling your personal goals here with the club?
It's been a good progression. I think the one thing that I judge my years always on is trying to get better. Work on certain aspects of my game and work on them here on a training field with the coaches and my teammates, and then trying to slowly implement them in the game. And I think this year distribution has been one thing that we were trying to focus on, being a bit more patient and allowing us to really get our spacing right, and then maybe be able to spot the advantages and numerical advantages and be able to then use those to our advantage. Those are things that we've been trying to work on as a goalkeeping unit, and I think it's helped us maintain possession. Still want to get better at that, but that's one thing that I'm happy with, because I always want to improve. That's the main thing. I don't ever want to stay here and stay the same or regress. I always want to try to get better. Not just try, but actually do. So in that aspect, I got better, but there's much work to be done.
What would it mean for the club standing within MLS if you guys were able to seal off the deal here and win 2 in a row?
I think we're at the point now where we're starting to get in that elite level of clubs in MLS. You know, I think the league and people from the outside are starting to notice that since '09, you know, we've reached the playoffs every time. We've consistently grabbed trophies. We've consistently found ourselves competing for trophies. And so even though we're maybe a young team compared to some of the original ones, we're starting to fill that cabinet with trophies. I think being able to achieve something like the LA Galaxy did by winning back-to-back would definitely cement us in that elite class, I would say, because I hold a tremendous respect for that, for those squads, because generally speaking we know that for reigning champions it's extremely difficult to even reach the playoffs again, let alone repeat, and for us to have a chance to do that is massive. I think we sense that opportunity and how that would cement us in that elite class.
Do you remember much about what it was like playing in front of the Toronto fans last year, a team where you used to play? Did they have any kind of creative heckles for you or anything? What are you expecting from the visiting fans or from the fans?
I expect them to try, but so does everybody. Right? I mean, it doesn't matter whether you go back to your old squad or if you go to any other. If you go down to Portland, trust me, they're not nice down there either. So, you know, you learn to deal with it and zone it out and really focus in on the ball.
It's been a long season. How's your body feeling?
Come on, Steph, hurry up. We need to go shower.
It's feeling like it's been a long season. See, he can't even shower on his own anymore, Christian. He needs a partner to go shower. No, it's been a long season. It's been a long season. At this point, the good thing is, because it's been a long season, when you do pick up little injuries like I had my little one there, is that you're so in the flow in terms of I think your hands, your hand-eye coordination has been worked on for so long that I don't really have to worry about losing it so quickly. So I was able to really just focus on giving my hamstring a rest, and then I was able to really just pick up right where I left off. So that's the only positive I can really muster out of having played for almost 2 consecutive seasons in a row now. So I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining. I think everybody. I had 5 years in Toronto where at times halfway into the season we knew we weren't making the playoffs, and it sucks when you're sitting there. As much as I like to be lazy at times, it sucks when you're watching TV and having to watch other people play. So really excited that we have pushed it again to the max. It's a very funny feeling actually when you're in the playoffs and you have a final practice and you're talking about that is the actual final practice. Sometimes when you're going into, let's say, the Vancouver series, you don't know if you're going to advance or not. You don't know whether that game or that practice was your last practice. Well, this Friday will be our last practice, so it's a unique experience. Gustav is happy, I'm sure. No comment? Okay.
There was a cool clip of you jumping on the crossbar after the game, celebrating with the supporters. Usually you're on the other end of the field. Well, what did that mean to you, and how cool was that?
It was awesome. I wish I could have given everybody in the stadium a hug. I mean, we were so fortunate to be able to get on that run last year and capture 2 trophies, but unfortunately both of them were away from home. So this last weekend when we had a chance to win one at home, that was amazing. It was, and I rewatched the game, and I think the commentary, they were saying this almost feels like a little bit of a celebration of last year's trophy, and I agree a little bit, because here the fans were now having an opportunity to really enjoy us capturing a trophy right in front of their eyes, and so it was very neat. It quickly shifted to wishing we had the final at home, because 45 hostile versus 65 friendly is a big difference. So we're going to have to make sure we make that a goal next year.
How many times do you think you're going to see the save this week?
I'm going to try to really do the same thing as last year, and at some point really zone out you guys and social media and just focus on the game. Hopefully I don't have to make another save. I would really prefer it if one of our strikers became MVP this year.
Thanks.